Howdy, hi. This is Deer Job Sports College Basketball Picks and Predictions for Sunday, January 18th, 2026. We are looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, got to recap previous day's results. Could have been a positive day if the Mormon Church decided to actually play the final 7.5 minutes of a basketball game, but they did not, as they got murdered in the final 8 minutes. So we go 5-7, bringing our season record to 278 and 228. We add $14 to the giveaway fund. That hurts, bringing that total to 196. The giveaway will be announced in the video tomorrow, and it will be run through the Discord as always. So if you want to get in, you can go and join the Discord. It is free. The link is in the description. Just hit the little button. I think the only thing you have to have is a verified email and a Discord account, and that's it. So you can enter for free there in tomorrow night's video. All right, I will now recap our 12 games, and we'll get on to the 5 games we got for tomorrow. All right, so normally I pull up every single game and I go through all the stats and stuff, but with the 140 games to scroll through and then 12 games to recap, I think I'm just going to talk about what I remember from the game. I watched all of these besides the St. John's game, because I think that was on Peacock, and I'm not buying Peacock. I refuse to buy that shit-ass streaming service. I did not watch the Fairfield game, nor did I watch the San Jose State game. Everything else, though, I got eyes on, so I will discuss it, and then we will get on to the games for tomorrow. So this should be a faster recap. Game 1, we had Virginia on the road at SMU. SMU was not able to pull off that crazy nonsense miracle half-court win like they were the previous games. This was a tight game the entire way through. Virginia gets it done covering the 1.5. This was probably one of the tightest covers of the day. The over in the Florida game, never a doubt. Grand Canyon, never a doubt. Actually, the over in the Murray State game was a bit questionable, and St. John's was really never a doubt. So, yeah, shout out to the Wahoos. They go 2-0 on their road trip. They beat Louisville, and then they beat SMU on the road. Next game, we had the over, 160.5. I am still shocked that this line was this low. Florida has been absolutely hooping. They win this game 98-94 in regulation. They shoot 52% from the field, 38% from deep, 83% from the field. Dude, baller. Straight buckets. Shout out to Florida for getting it done. Grand Canyon, they absolutely dismantled Utah State. I watched all this game. False Slev for Utah State did have a pretty good one. That home court was rocking. They stormed the court as they should. It was lit. Everybody was wearing like swim trunks and bright clothing. Pretty awesome court storm. So if you want to go look it up, you can. Grand Canyon plus 5.5. You can throw the points away. They win that one on the shmoney line. Sycamores and Murray State. Actually, I will look at the stats for this one. I forget the exact score. I want to say it was like 84-82, maybe? What was this? Let me pull this up real quick. Final score here, it was 85-81. Murray State did not play good in the second half. They had a 10-point lead at halftime, 47-37. They lose the second half outright, 44-38. They win the rebound battle. They win the turnover battle. They just couldn't shoot it from deep. Indiana State went 50% from deep. Murray State went 38%. They also went 70% from the free throw line. Not the best effort from the Racers, but they get it done at home. They get the win. We hit the over, 163.5. All right, and then final game at St. John's. We took them minus 1.5 on the road at Nova. I think the final score of this game, they won by 7 or 8. This was a tight game up until right around 12 minutes left, and then St. John's just put the absolute clamps on Villanova. I think Nova is pretty fraudulent. If I had to guess, the Big East is a 3-bid league. St. John's, UConn, and then maybe Seton Hall. But after what I saw from Seton Hall today, losing to Butler outright at home, I really don't know what to make of the Big East. It might just be a 2-bid league, which would be very sad, because that is supposed to be a good basketball conference. All right, now we get to the losers. I'm pulling up the score for this one. This was the dude, NC State. I laid 15.5 points with them at home against a horrible Georgia Tech team. Georgia Tech wins the game outright, 78-74. Will Wade, is he the most fraudulent coach in America? Because it would appear as though he is. He was good at McNeese because he had the best roster and the most amount of money in that conference. Since he's gotten to NC State, they have not done a damn thing. Not to mention, the guys he brought over from McNeese have been horrible. The star forward, Darian Williams, he went 2 of 11 today. Or how about Paul McNeil? He went 3 of 11. Do I have to talk to you about Quadir Copeland, who went 6 of 17? NC State, what did they shoot? 37% from the field. They lost the rebound battle. They did win the turnover battle. How do you lose the rebound battle at home by 9 as a 15.5 point favorite to one of the worst schools in the ACC? That is an atrocious loss for NC State. Their season is done. They are now 12-6 on the year. Their next 2 games, directly next, is at Clemson. That is a loss. At Pittsburgh, that's probably a win. Pittsburgh's awful. They have Syracuse at home. That'll be tough. Then it's Wake Forest, SMU, Virginia Tech, Louisville, Miami, North Carolina, Virginia. That is a gauntlet. They are going to get destroyed. Never again do we take NC State. All right, Murray State, we don't have to look up. They had a 10-point lead at halftime, like I said. They win this game, by 4. They just didn't play well in the second half. Kind of lucky we hit the over, to be honest. There was a stretch of 3 minutes where no one scored a bucket in this game. So I'm just kind of happy we split that one. Next game, Bradley. I will look this one up. I'm pretty sure they got absolutely murdered. This game was not close. Yep, holy God. I knew the halftime score was bad, and the second half got even worse. Illinois State, 88. Bradley, 62. God damn, I knew that line reeked. I should have bet the Redbirds. Yep, whatever. Well, they lost by 26. That's the way she goes. Next one, Fairfield plus 9.5. I might as well look this one up. I'm pretty sure they got destroyed as well. I don't know what's going on with this Marist team. Every single time I bet against them, they just destroy their opponent. Marist wins this one 82-67. They shoot 53% from the field. Fairfield actually won the turnover battle, and they won the offensive rebound battle. They had 4 more shot attempts than Marist and 6 more free throw attempts. They just could not shoot the ball 20% from deep. Marist went 50% from deep. I think I'd make the bet again, though. I think I would do that. San Jose State, plus 5.5 against UNLV. I don't remember this game. What happened in this game? I know they lost. The question is by how many? The answer is by 14. Jesus Christ, San Jose State. How do you only score 62 points at home against UNLV? They win the rebound battle by 9. They lose the turnover battle by 5. UNLV shot 54% from the field. San Jose State shot 41%, 86% from the free throw line. How do you lose by 14 points at home to UNLV? That was disgusting. And then finally, the Mormons. I hate the Mormons. BYU had a 9-point lead. I repeat, a 9-point lead at the under 8 media timeout. Texas Tech then went on a 26-6 run. 26 points to 6. We have to have a serious talk about A.J. DeBonta because he scored 2 points. Count them, 2. The entire second half of the ball game. Final score, Texas Tech 84, BYU 71. I was really not impressed with BYU down the stretch. Their entire offense was give the ball to Robert Wright in isolation, try to run Richie Saunders off of a screen, or give the ball to AJ so he can go 6 of 17 from the field with 3 turnovers. That is the number 1 pick in the draft, supposedly. He would not be my number 1 pick. I'd have Peterson 1, Boozer 2. I mean, after what I saw today, that was a shit performance from AJ. That was awful. So, Yeah, no bueno. No thank you, BYU. All right, so I'll go 5 and 7. Let's get on to the picks for tomorrow. All right, first game we got, it is Wichita State on the road at South Florida. I'm going to take the Bulls at home, laying 7.5. This is their second leg of a back-to-back road spot in Florida. The first one they lost by 18 points to FAU. I do not think the second leg is going to go good. South Florida, 3-game winning streak right now. They looked really good at home this year, 7-1 overall. They're probably not going to have any fans in the building because they normally don't, but I don't think that matters. I will back them. Wichita State, 10-8 on the year, 2-3 in AAC play. They beat North Texas and UAB. They lost to Rice, FAU, and Charlotte. Both Rice and Charlotte are horrible, so those are awful losses. They score 78 points a game, play a bottom 30 pace in the country, shooting at 44% from the field. Their offense is the big problem. There's too much isolation. There's not enough team movement, no assists, no nothing. And the ball is not going in the hoop. That is not good. South Florida, 11-6 on the year. Their current 3-game winning streak has been against North Texas, Tulsa, and East Carolina. They score 91 a game, played a top 10 pace, and they shoot at 45% from the field. Massive difference in play styles. I will go with the home team, who wants to get out and run. I think they win this by double digits. All right, next game is probably the scariest game of the night. It is Arizona State. They are getting 17.5 points at Houston. If you have watched college basketball for a while, you will know Calvin Sampson is the head coach of Houston. He is very good. Last year they made the finals. Their defense is elite. It's always been the question of, can Houston score enough points to really blow a team out like this? The answer is yes, they probably could, but 17.5 points. I think I have to take Arizona State on the road. It's just too many points. The Sun Devils, 10-7 on the year. Big 12, their only win is against Kansas State. Their losses came to Colorado by 6, BYU, I think that was on the road, by 28, and then Arizona by 7. But again, that is a rivalry game, and that was the last spot they played at. So weird travel here from Arizona to Houston. It's not the worst it could be, though. Like, you could be going from, I don't know, Arizona to Colorado, or not Colorado, to West Virginia or UCF or somewhere on the East Coast. So it's not the worst spot here. Arizona State scores 81 points a game, top 75 pace, 46% from the field. They don't like the 3-ball. They're horrible at rebounding, and they also don't play defense. So they can cover this number. I do not think they're winning this game. Houston, 16-1 on the year, 4-0 in Big 12 play, 9-0 at home. No matter how you slice it, this team is good. They are coming off of a 29-point home win against West Virginia. Maybe a little bit of a letdown spot. Let me check real quick who they have on deck. I kind of forgot to actually take a gander at that. I'm assuming it's a tough road game if they get... I mean, if you get these two schools at home, surely they go and give you a tough road game in your next spot. All right, who do they got? They have... Oh, shit. It's at Texas Tech for their next game. Oh, yeah. Great spot. Look-ahead spot. Arizona State at home. Give me the Sun Devils. All right, next game, we're going to take an over. The overs I've actually been betting have been hitting at a decent rate. The spreads have not been doing as hot, but I'm 4-0 in my last 4 over bets, so I'll keep riding it. Not sure why this is this low. I have this at 156.5, so I'm going to take this Milwaukee on the road at IPFW. Give me the over, 149.5. So we are getting to the portion of conference play where you are going to start seeing teams play for the second time this year. These teams have already met. The first time they played, it landed at 132 points, which does not look great. But then you look at the actual stats. Both teams combined to shoot at 39% from the field, and they had 25 turnovers combined. I think that was a bit of an outlier game. Neither of these teams play any defense. I think the second meeting, we figure some things out offensively, run some different schemes, get open shots, and put the ball in the hoop. So, Milwaukee 8-11 on the year, not a fun time for them. 4-4 in Horizon League, coming directly off of a loss to Oakland at home by 13 points. They score 77 a game, played a top 150 pace, 44% from the field. They don't really like the three ball. They more so like to get inside the arc, get to the hoop, get to the free throw line, where they are horrible. But the trend is progressing where they're actually putting the ball more in the hoop from the line than not. Their defense is the main problem. They suck. They're ranked 330th. They are solid on the offensive boards, so that could lead to a few putback buckets. Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, 11-8 on the year, 5-3 in the horizon. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They average 80 points a game, played a top 100 pace, 47% from the field. Their defense is also bottom 125. I will take the over. All right, next game we're looking at, I'm pretty sure this is one of the only times I've bet the WCC. I'm going to take Washington State on the road. Really don't think San Francisco is consistent enough to be laying 5.5 points to many teams in this conference. Washington State coming off of 2 losses. That's against St. Mary's and Gonzaga. Neither of those are actually winnable games. So this is the first winnable game they've had in about 2 weeks. I will back them. They've had a lot of time to prepare for this game. Washington State 8-11 on the year, 3-3 in WCC play, and again, 2 of those were against the 2 purebreds of the league. So really, they're 3-1 against actual beatable teams. They beat Oregon State by 14, LMU by 2, and then Portland by 5. Their losses, Seattle by 14, and then the 2 front runners. They score 75 points a game, played a middle-of-the-pack pace, more efficient from the field than San Francisco, shooting it at a 46% clip. They're not good on the boards. That would actually be an understatement. They are complete ass on the boards, but that is slightly based on their non-con schedule being pretty tough. They might be without their starting power forward. I would definitely keep an eye on the injury report. This is, let me double check, I think this is the last game of the day. So I would not bet this until right before tip, so you actually know if he's playing or not. Let me double check the time. I think this tip's at 7 o'clock Eastern. Yep, this tip's 7 o'clock Eastern, and you are looking for Rihards Vavers. Rihards Vavers. He's from Lithuania. Or no, sorry, Latvia, LVA. Either way, the dude's an absolute bucket. He's averaging 11 points a game, 3.5 rebounds on 42% from the field. You are going to want him to play. San Francisco 12-8 on the year, 4-3 in West Coast Conference play. They're coming off of a 14-point home loss to St. Mary's, 75 points a game, bottom 75 pace. They do have a much better defense than Washington State. They're just too inconsistent. I am not laying 5.5 points with them. Give me Wazoo. All right, in the final game, this line absolutely reeks. It is telling you 100% to take North Texas. I am not going to take North Texas. I'm diving in. Give me Tulane in this green wave, laying 1.5 points. North Texas, it is year 1 of head coach Daniel Robinson coming over from Cleveland State. He brought basically his entire roster. They are not having a fun time. Tulane is 3-1 in conference play. They're back. They're at a bounce back spot after a tough loss to UAB at home. I don't know why the line is only 1.5. I'm diving in. It's my favorite bet of the day. Cleveland State 10-7 on the year. Like I mentioned, year 1 of Daniel Robinson. Their team is basically Cleveland State from last year, and that is not really a good thing. They score 70 points a game, played a bottom 50 pace, and they shoot it 44% from the field. The problem is they took a Horizon League offense, which is normally faster pace, not as much defense, and they put it into the identity of North Texas, which, if you've watched North Texas for the last 10 years, this is a defensively focused program, but that is not the roster they have. They have a Horizon League roster who wants to get out the court and run, but their head coach, who again was at the Horizon League last year, is telling them no because they're at North Texas. North Texas could be good if they got their head out of their ass and actually played like they did last year, but they refuse to do that because they're stupid. Tulane, 12-5 on the year. Their entire team is Rowan Brumbaugh. You watch the game, you're going to be like, hey, who's that 6'8" white kid who's really good? That is Rowan Brumbaugh. He is their dude. This is a bounce-back game. You have to win this. You cannot drop back-to-back home games against UAB and North Texas. That is not allowed. They get up for this game. It should be relatively crowded coming off of a home loss. Should be able to get it back. I will take Tulane minus 1.5. It does absolutely reek. All right, then we got two more games, which I am putting money on. They are also both in the American. I just don't have enough time to actually type these out. First one, this line also reeks, but instead I'm diving into it the other direction. Give me Tulsa catching only 1.5 on the road at UAB. This makes no sense. This is Tulsa plus 5.5, which would just scream bet UAB. But I'm going the other way. I think Tulsa is going to somehow win this outright, so I will take them. And the next, East Carolina plus 1.5. Charlotte is horrible. I've been on this train this entire year. I actually think they're on a winning streak. Give me ECU catching 1.5 at home. That is disrespectful. All right, that's going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate you watching and tuning in. Today, we are going to have a winning day. No more Saturday nonsense. No more only 7-game Friday cards. We go flawless 7-0. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.